in this episode, Sallie has brought the most beautiful range of food. And this is what we're talking about, isn't it?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah. And what I really love about it, I mean, you know that I love good food. There's no surprises there. But what Sallie's done is to make a tiered, how do you describe it?
It's an income tiered model.
It's an income tiered model. So this is a box system. It's income tiered. So the people who can afford to pay, and it's market value. It's not like it's premium prices.
That's right.
So the families and those who can pay the market value for this are going to buddy up with households who can't.
That's right, exactly.
I love that. Watch till the end, you'll hear all about it. And Sallie, where can they find out about it? What's your website?
It's at www.feelgoodfoodboxes.com.
Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you. Hello and welcome to Stories from the Red Couch, episode 64. I'm Robin Cook and today we have a return guest, Sallie Francis. Hi Sallie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
And I always ask our guests to bring something to decorate the table, and look at this. It's the most magnificent table decoration I think we've ever had, and there's such an abundance of gorgeous fresh produce that there was no room for Lucy this week, so she's gone.
Sorry, Lucy.
It's okay. How have you been?
I've been really good, thank you.
You've really moved on. So we had you as our guest on episode 26.
That's right, yes.
And you were in the midst of building a tiny house.
Yes.
And I'm guessing that tiny house is now your home.
That's right, yes. We've been living in it since December.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's beautiful. We're really happy with it, and it feels like home now. And now we had a bit of a time off of just sitting and enjoying and being in it. And then now we're like, okay, we might need to paint and do some finishings and
it's nice that you've had a rest, because it also gives you your mind an opportunity to think of some other things.
That's right.
And that's what you've been doing. So tell me, what have you been doing just lately?
Yes, so I guess we've recently just launched Feel Good Food Boxes, and that's an initiative of EarthfullyMinded. It's an organic and synthetic Chem-free food box.
Yep.
That's available to Sunshine Coast and Southeast Queensland, and it's a social enterprise. So what we do is, for every box that we sell, we then supplement a low to medium income box as well. And
as in income earners,
that's
families
right.
or individuals or couples or whoever.
That's right, as a household, yeah.
That's fantastic.
So it's based on an income tiered basis.
Okay.
So people that are above average income or that have the capacity to will both purchase a market value box, and then anyone that's under between 66k and 85k, which is kind of the stats as per the Bureau of Stats, then they get a modest discount of 15% off, which just takes the edge off and makes it more affordable and accessible. And then low income earners get a massive discount of up to 40% off, which is basically makes it the same cost as what they would pay for non-organic.
So regardless of your income, really, you're able to feed yourself and your family some pretty amazingly healthy food.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's wonderful. How did you come up with the idea?
I guess look, there was a few ways. I think I've been in a situation before personally and with my family where we would prefer to eat organic, and coming from either mental or physical health issues, I've realised the importance of eating healthy. And eating food that's toxic free and unadulterated and just good food. So eating organic was really important, and then when I had my two girls, that was really important. I didn't want to throw toxins and chemicals into their bodies that were already perfect. And I really wanted them to have a good understanding about the importance of food and how important it is to your mental and your physical health and your lifestyle and how you live, quality of life. So we always tried to eat organic, and as with everyone. You know, you have ups and downs and all that sort of stuff. And usually when we had going on to one income or lower income, we basically, organic food was one of the first things that we had to cut because it just was not in our price range and we got priced out.
Yeah.
And,
Now, there's a mosquito around.
Thank you. I can't half see it there.
Yeah, look, you know, we've had some, we had a dry and then we've had some rain.
Yes.
Thankfully, and we're outdoors on the veranda, so there are mozzies. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm really fascinated by that also because of your the other business. So So before you got to the boxes, which we'll come back to.
That's right.
Tell me about what you were doing to come to that.
Yeah. So originally, I launched EarthfullyMinded, and EarthfullyMinded is a business that helps social enterprises and not-for-profits implement streamlined systems and processes and become more efficient, so that way they can create bigger impacts and spend time doing what they love. Because that's your thing, isn't it? That's what I do. Strategic thinking. That's right. Systems. Yeah. And that's fabulous because not everyone can think that way. Yes. Yeah. And yet those systems are vital. Yes. To the smooth running and the capacity building. That's right, yeah, and being able to scale. So starting off small, being able to scale largely without taking too much, you know, getting out of that administration, red tape, bureaucracy, and things that people get caught up in. Yes. And we enter business because we're passionate about something, ideally, and usually that's not sitting behind the scenes, you know, calculating an admin and, you know, unless you're an accountant and that's what you love. Yeah. But, or, you know, double checking things or triple handling things and all that sort of stuff. So I think EarthfullyMinded is about making things a little bit easier and more efficient. And and we also do impact measurements and modelling, and we do employee wellness programs. So it's kind of the full circle about, and this is linked to me, it's a holistic health, so we might work with a CEO or a business and sort of go, okay, well, let's get all your systems health working as it should do. You know, it's employee culture and programs. What do the employees want to see in regards to a model and giving back? So that is being a, you know, social enterprise and having some sort of social impact. When we say social impact, it's the social and environmental impact. So not just the director saying, oh, this is what I want to do, it's more getting the team on. Yeah. And then you've got people that feel valued and they feel looked after and that they want to be there. Yeah. So, you know, you have a higher retention rate. Yes. And then the other side is, you know, doing, because I've done my permaculture design and, you know, helping people kind of, you know, there might be employee wellness and yoga programs, nutrition, kitchen gardens, implementing that sort of stuff. And so ideally full circle. That's a beautiful skill set that you have, Sally. So merging together, and that's the thing. It was very separate beforehand, and it was kind of a bit disjointed, and I think how would you pull that together, and that's what you've been doing. That's right. Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah. Now back to this sumptuous food. When we pulled it all out before, Sally brought it in a box like this. We kind of plonked it on the table. And you said this is enough food for a family of 4? That's right, yes. For a week. Yes. And look, it's magnificent. And it's hard sometimes when you're just looking at produce to think about, oh, well, what are we going to do here? And what's for dinner tomorrow night? And so on and so forth. But there really is quite a diverse range of food here. That's right. What are some of your go-to recipes with this kind of produce? Well, we also do have meal plans online. So we have some meal plans, and because we're big about the environment and looking after, trying to be as waste-free as possible as well. So in doing this, what we do is put together some meal plans and some recipe cards, and there is more coming, but it gives you an idea, okay, these are the sort of things that we can cook. We're a family of 4, so we've got 2 daughters. We do a lot of the things with the eggs and egg and banana pancakes, which are really easy in the morning. I don't put any It's just eggs and banana.
Okay.
That's it. And then egg wraps with avocado and tomato and onions. We do sweet potato boats with bolognese, whether that be vegan, you know, with beans or meat or fish or whatever you need to do with that. And on the recipe cards, we interchange that. What else do I make? So yeah, stir fries, green juices, salads, lots and lots of different things.
Beetroot, I love beetroot.
That's right, juicing. So there's a bit in there for juicing, and just baked beetroots and cauliflower and broccoli bake and
Fabulous. And milk in a glass bottle.
That's right. Yeah. So the
That's
milk,
pretty exciting.
the milk and the bread are extras.
Yes.
Which people can add on to. But yes, Barumba Organics milkers come back out with their glass bottles, so we're really happy to be
exciting.
stocking that.
Now, what food miles are we talking about in general here?
Yeah, so within 400 Ks, and what we do is we do have local. So the greens we get from a local organic and chem-free farmer that does syntropics gardening, and very ethical farming practices, and they're local to Woombye. And then we've got the Noosa red tomatoes, we've got forage eggs, which are from Gympie. And as we go, being a social enterprise, so majority of the stuff as well is actually coming from one provider. Okay, so it's basically all the farms send it into there, and then they'll send it to us. So there's not a lot of going around and things like that.
That's fantastic.
And being a social enterprise and what we're doing, we actually have to try and keep it as streamlined as possible. So we will try and talk to more local farmers, but we have to get, you know, we're doing a lot with regards to community supported agriculture, and then farmers will possibly, in some schools that we're talking to as well, grow specifics that we need for our subscriptions, and then they'll bring it to us, which
Wonderful.
is good. Yeah.
So what sort of things could schools do?
So schools can do a lot, like that have got the permaculture or the you know, organic syntropics gardening in practice. It's a big awesome lesson to be part of, you know, learning how to do regenerative land practices, looking after the environment, looking after the animals, and they're the type of farmers that we work with that are really about putting as much nutrition as possible into their food, looking after the environment and not throwing chemicals and toxins on there just to...
Trashing it.
That's right. So yeah, schools, you know, we are speaking with a couple of schools at the moment in regards to basically them maybe, you know, growing certain vegetables that could help supply the boxes. You know, I guess the main thing is there that you know, they've got programs to support them, and that they can grow within a certain range, and then send it to us.
Because also with a school, it's good for them to generate an income as well to support their program.
Exactly, yeah.
So if they're able to grow and sell into you know, an established system.
That's right.
Then how fabulous is that?
Yeah, and at the same time be able to give back to the community as well, in what we're doing, the pay it forward scheme automatically. So,
and maybe some of those school families will be the ones that are buying the boxes.
That's right, yeah.
I'm just loving this. How do people collect them? How do they pick up their boxes?
It's delivery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we will deliver it.
Deliver?
We will deliver it to them.
Yeah.
So it's really just for Sunshine Coast, anything that's over, you know, $100, it's free delivery. Anything under 100, I think it's a flat fee of flat fee $9. And then we also deliver up to Gympie and to Toowoomba and Brisbane and Gold Coast as well.
That's a really big area.
That's right.
Yeah. So you go,
wanting to
move it out,
share it out as much as possible.
All right. Well, I love the idea of the tiered system.
Yes.
That's really clever, and it's supportive of a wide range of people. It's inclusive, isn't it?
That's right. That's right. And it's about equity, and I guess it's not necessarily that organics is too expensive, because when you look at it, it is actually quite reasonably priced when you take
I
into
agree.
consideration everything.
Absolutely.
And so for those people that can pay it and can support farmers, to understand that what you're paying for that is actually worth it. But for some people that are just priced out, it shouldn't be one of the first things that they have to go, because especially if someone's sick or someone's losing their job or someone's experiencing some sort of life issue, then the last thing that they should be cutting out is
the good food.
Quality food, because that is what's going to support them and their brain and helping them
to get better.
Yeah, that's right. So yes, yeah.
Now, sometimes I like to, because this is another big thing that you've done.
Yes.
What other how hard could it be moments have you had?
Yeah. I guess.
What was your first one?
The big one was probably the tiny house, and it was. Let's build a tiny house, how hard it could be, we'll get it done in a few months. And there was lots of projects within the tiny house that I'd be like, can't be that hard, we'll just YouTube it, and I'll just do it. And luckily I had, my husband and a few different other people that were like, well, maybe we'll just be a bit careful with what we're doing. There was one where we had a big slab of salvaged black butt that we were going to use for our kitchen. And so I just ordered it, got it. So we'll just cut it to the piece that we need. How hard can it be? So I went out and started measuring it, and then the boys were like, you can't measure it that way. And I'm like, what do you mean it's just that way? And because it was a funny shape like that, so my right angle to the left angle just wasn't going to work. And I remember looking at them just going, I don't have the capacity to understand you, and I have so much stuff going on in my head. And I think it was Ian. He said to me, he's like, "Do you want to know this?" I'm like, "Nah. If you just do it, and I don't need to know it, because it's too much."
Yeah.
And also with that piece, we ended up finding out later it didn't go in our house, because we found out later it needed to be seasoned for 3 years. And then if I wanted to put it into a kiln, we had to wait 8 months for it to go into the kiln to be seasoned in 3 months. So that's probably a good one.
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I reckon there's been, there's a lot of lessons that you can learn in that you can apply to all manner of things.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bit of research first, and maybe patience.
So where do you want to see this go?
So I guess I want to see just the local sunny coast,
embracing it.
Get on board with us. We do have a waiting list of people wanting the community supported box. So we actually are getting quite a lot of people that are really excited about being able to have organic food.
Now, I've just thought about this. How do people tell you what their income is? How does that work?
Yeah. So for when people go to register online, anyone that can afford a market value box, they can just order straight away. And then as soon as the market box subscription's done, we then supplement, provide a low to medium income box available. If someone's on a low to medium income or the household, they'll register with us, and we do ask for the last couple of pay slips if they're working, and a copy of their income tax statement from last year. Okay. So sometimes with Centrelink it might be that they can just show an income statement from there. We don't do a lot with it. It's really just citing and confirming that they're within the range, and then we will pre-approve them. And then it's really just waiting until a subscription becomes, a market value box has been secured.
Yes.
As soon as that's secured, then we can say you're right to do your subscription and order.
So that's actually, I really am thinking now that for people who are in the community and they are on decent money, and they can afford that, that's almost a buddy system, isn't it?
Yes.
Here we are, we're doing well, let's help another family through
exactly.
supporting their food
Yeah.
intake.
That's right. And there isn't a premium on the market value cost. Like,
No, that's actually what the market value is.
That's it. And we,
Yeah.
and so they're automatically going to be buddying up
Yeah.
and helping someone or a family or a senior citizen or, someone that's pensioner, that will be able to access this. And it's within 10% of what they would pay for non-organic or synthetic chem-free food
Yeah.
at the supermarkets.
Yeah.
So it just makes it much more attainable.
That's fantastic.
And that's so people in the community that can do it, it's really just doing their standard thing, their normal shop that they do, automatically paying forward.
You have secret ingredients in the
Yes.
box each week.
Yes, it's a surprise item.
A surprise item.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Tell me about it.
What we do is, so the boxes are pretty much your stock standard of what most Aussie families know and use, and I guess there's quite a lot of ingredients that are more readily available and that have more sustainable practices in growing
Yes.
and all that sort of stuff.
In our subtropical climate.
That's right, and that are highly nutritious, but they look different and they're weird, and
We're not used to
we're not
eating
used
them.
to them. So what we're trying to do is each week we'll put a little surprise pack in there, and it will have a little card about this is what I am.
Yes.
This is how you cook me. Try it out. See what you think.
So what are we doing today?
All right. So today we're doing some beautiful bamboo shoots. Okay. And these
Beautiful.
bamboo shoots are from a farm up in Yamundi called Big Heart Bamboo, and they grow bamboo shoots, edible bamboo shoots. And yeah, so a lot of the outside husk that gets peeled off, that goes back into compost, and it helps with their growing systems. They're kind of like a asparagus or a leek. You're peeling the outside bit off. But they've got such beautiful, intricate, and they've got the Fibonacci spiral within them as well. So what you need to do with these is you take these bits off, and the top bit that don't really boil down, and then you boil them for 10 minutes, and with a bit of salt, and then they become edible bamboo shoots. So that's what we've got there. Yes.
Like this.
Yes. So they've just been cooked and they're beautiful. You have them in a stir fry or in salads. You can also fry them up and have them as chips. There's a whole lot of different things that you can do with them, but they're super nutritious and they've got lots of good protein and
Fibre, I imagine there'd be
fibre. That's
lots
right.
of fibre.
Yes.
Something
yes.
we all need plenty of.
Exactly.
That's brilliant, Sally.
And they taste great. So.
I'm going to give that a go. I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to try it a bit
fair
later.
enough,
Yeah. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Fabulous to
Thank
talk
you.
to you again, and beautiful to see that your tiny house is actually just your home now.
That's right. Yes.
And you've been able to expand and use some of those incredible skills that you have been collecting over the last few years.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's wonderful.
It's exciting to be on a path that feels more aligned and more.
It's
feels good.
fulfilling, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, every day is something wonderful.
That's exactly right.
Good on you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. And we will be back next week. I'm going to try this. It's crunchy.
Yes.
And I love the texture.